So let's wrap it up with Jake's Unlimited real quick.
No!
Funny enough, after the baby was delivered and we were kind of just winding down, I finished, as we were waiting for the baby to be delivered, I finished Transformers versus the Terminator. And I will say, it was big and it was dumb and it was fun and I enjoyed it. And it was what I wanted out of a crossover. I still haven't read Planet of the Apes Green Lantern crossover yet.
That sounds awesome.
But that actually led me down a rabbit hole of reading the IDW collection of the Transformers comics.
Ooh, those are not bad.
But here's the thing. It was on Comixology. I started reading it before and I stopped and then I restarted it. But the thing about those books is there's so many. Mm-hmm. And so like each I don't know how big all the volumes are. But the first volume that I was reading, the collection, and it's funny because there's a foreword being like, if you've never read Transformers comics, this is the place to start. And so I'm glad that they reassured me that because they're like, well, you could technically start with All Hail Megatron and da-da-da. But you know what? You start with this because this is just a collection of.
Start with the Marvel series from back in the 80s.
No, F the Marvel series. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Did you ever?
I defer to IDW because IDW usually,
the Marvel series were okay.
In my opinion, IDW I think handles licensed properties the best.
They do
of all the publishers.
They do,
and yeah, what I mean by that is, of course, like Predator and the only problem with that because Dark Horse, the Dark Horse crossovers are pretty good, like Batman and Predators.
But the only problem I have with IDW is that because they own these properties, like the Hasbro ones, such as ROM Space Knight, we're never going to see ROM Space Knight in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I do have a bone to pick with IDW.
I'm really glad that that
or the Micronauts.
I'm really glad that Bumblebee kind of rebooted the Transformers movies.
I'm really glad that I've never seen any of the Transformers movies past the first one because who fucking cares?
You don't really need to. You don't. And Bumblebee's pretty damn good. So
I actually watched some of Bumblebee
awesome.
on accident. It was okay.
It's good.
It was all right.
Dude.
It's still a Michael Bay Transformers movie,
No, it
dude.
isn't.
Oh, who did
Michael
it?
Bay didn't touch that.
He didn't?
No.
He didn't produce it?
Trevor Knight was the director.
Oh, he didn't produce it?
I still think Spielberg did, I think, but
You sure it wasn't Michael
did you
Bay?
see that he came out?
Sure he did.
Funny enough, while we're on the topic of Transformers, funny enough, Michael Bay came out and said that Spielberg told him to stop making Transformers movies after the third movie, but then he's like, I just couldn't help it. They're too fun. And I'm like,
for who? Not us.
Look, I'm not a huge Spielberg.
Not the actors.
I'm not a huge Spielberg stan, but at least I'm like, maybe you should listen to one of the better filmmakers.
What is Stan again?
I don't fucking have the time to explain this. We're almost at 2 hours. Do you ever listen to the song Stan by Eminem?
Stand? Yes.
Stan.
Oh, Stan. Yes.
Dear M. It's a fan letter to him, and he crashes his car into. On Twitter, if you're a big fan of something, you're saying like, yeah, I'm a huge Transformers stan. Instead of saying fan, I don't know why it's Twitter, it's stupid. But the point is, that's the origin.
Hey, Jesus, if you're listening, can you stop the world because I want to get off? Fuck this place. It is so stupid.
Tyler, I'm going to help you out right now. I'm going to help you out right now.
Yeah.
There's a website. It's called Urban Dictionary. Look shit up.
Oh, my God. No. No. No.
No, but anyway. Transformers. I'm glad Beast Wars is coming out next year. I'm excited about that. But anyway, I've been reading the
Beast Wars, Plant Wars, Guitar Wars. I don't give a shit.
You had me at Ron Perlman being a robotic gorilla. I've been reading Transformers, the IDW collect. We've been gone a week, everybody. We got to get through this. We're rapidly approaching the longest episode.
Shut up and talk.
But I've been reading that, and yeah, these comics are a little bit more brutal than I expected. I mean, there's not like blood; it's like purple blood because they're robots.
Transformers versus Terminator.
I don't have time to. Well, I mean, we do have time.
Oh no, you're talking about the Transformers.
No, but I'm saying that was a jumping off point. So after reading that, I wanted to read more Transformers because I'm weird. Like I've been getting in. This happened to me last year.
A little bit of time on here.
Or a couple of years ago, like where I got this weird Transformers kick. Like I have 2 video games from the 360 era that I have yet to finish: War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. They were really good games back in the day, and I never finished them. They're not connected to the movies or anything. They're their own continuity or whatever. But we mean to do that. But the IDW
standalones.
The IDW stuff, it starts with Megatron's origin, which is interesting. Instead of doing Optimus, they start with Megatron. And quite honestly, they do a good job enough of kind of making you kind of understand where Megatron is coming from, because when the book starts, and I gotta say, what I love so much about these Transformers books is it's handled with what was the word, aplomb?
Yeah.
In a sense that they take it seriously, but at the same time, it's giant talking robots that are also that turn into cars and shit. But it's interesting because Megatron's origin starts with him being someone that's a working class robot. Like, it starts with they're trying to mine for energon, which is like, it's like oil to them. It's a big resource. And one of the senators is ending mining of the energon, and that leads to like a revolt, and that leads to a revolution. And
why do they want to stop mining?
I think if I remember correctly, it's one of the, it's like how we deal with mining. It gives us, it can give us resources, but it's bad for the planet, I think, is what they're getting at. But Megatron is kind of a reluctant leader. Like, he finds like, it shows earlier that he finds some energon, and it latches onto him and it affects him. And then when the senator's announcing this, there's this big hoopla about it, and they're freaking out, and he I think he is the one, if I remember. Dude, sleep deprivation and having a kid blurred my memory a little bit on this. But I think he throws an axe at the senator and hits him, and it starts a riot, and he gets into a fight and actually like punches a guard's head in, like kills him, like hammer fists him till and then he like snaps out of it and is like, oh my God, what did I do? And then he goes in, and where I'm at, he's in jail, and they're breaking out of prison. And it's interesting to make like Megatron be not so evil right out of the gate. Because when you watch the cartoons and stuff, like, he's a shithead right away. So this is kind of like telling his backstory a little bit, the first couple issues. But it's a lot. Like, I think the first volume is like 300 and some pages. Like, it's thick.
Starscream.
That's also, I haven't seen him in this yet. Soundwave is already...
Autobots, roll out. Peter Cullen was just here.
Whoa. Optimus Prime. Autobots, roll out.
Oh, now you got to try and fucking make... Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm. Megatron.
What are you going to fucking do?
Megatron's a little bitch.
What?
But I think that I kind of missed out because I was never a huge Transformer kid. And
I watched that. When I got home from school, when I was in elementary school, I got home and there was the fucking Power Hour. It was G.I. Joe and then Transformers.
So, that being said, I'm going to keep reading them because I really dig them. And
then it was Geraldo, which was way more educational.
Man, I still need to finish. I need to finish.
Lesbian biker gangs, cool. Because Geraldo.
Judas Priest,
Judas
made me kill my neighbor. Yeah. Fucking, I hate Geraldo.
You know what? You know what's weird though? Geraldo was more educational, and also less believable than the two cartoons that I just fucking watched.
Oh man, dude, that's a parody. If we could animate, I would animate a Transformers Geraldo show for sure.
Tonight on Geraldo. I'm going to do Geraldo because I've been working on his impression for years.
What would you transform her out of? Like a fucking Volvo or something?
A dildo. Tonight on Geraldo, what's going on with my mustache?
People forget that Megatron was just a pistol. Remember that? He was just a giant gun.
Yeah, I do, because they sold pistols in the toy aisle.
And then in the movie, we were like, that's kind of dumb. Maybe we should make it like a plane or something. And then it's also like, fuck you. And then they had Hugo Weaving do it because I think the original voice actor couldn't do it. But Peter Cullen, man. Optimus Prime. Anyway.
Classic.
No, I can't. I'm just imagining a dildo turning into turning into a robot.
Big ass mustache.
And that's the most
shit.
important thing. And you know what's funny is, to wrap it up, reading the Transformers books, reading the Transformers versus Terminator book in particular, because I don't think they really transform at the part that I'm at the IDW collection, because they're on Cybertron.
Yeah, they're just robots.
Yeah, why would they need to? They're on Cybertron. But they when they transform in the book, they do the cool, they do the art where you show action by like changing the transparency of it into the thing. But they have the onomatopoeia of the Transformer, and every time I read it, it was the like I could not hear that. I could not hear that in my head every time I read them.
That's what I had a problem with the Michael Bay Transformer movies.
They don't really make that sound.
But when they transformed, it was so complicated. They were trying to be realistic. Shut the fuck up.
I couldn't tell.
Show me a bunch of blocky arms turning into a blocky truck.
When you make it,
I don't need to see the gears inside.
And make them bright colors so I can actually see who's hitting each other.
Yes.
God damn it, dude! You're too fast.
Yes.
That's why I'm excited about Beast Wars and stuff, because they're going more of the Gen 1 look, and they're going to make him more colorful so you can actually see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, Michael Bay.
You suck. Also, I will say one of the cool things about the Transformers versus Terminator book is Soundwave. I totally forgot about this. He pops the cassette out of his chest and it into a wolf robot. And I was like, that's dope. Like, that was really cool. So like, so they're incorporating that even the cassette tape makes difference.
You didn't know that?
That it was a wolf? Dude, I told you, I didn't
know. Some of the when the Transformers first came out, the cheapest ones were on cards, and they were the tapes, like Frenzy.
Again, I didn't really watch it as a kid, so
it was the little guys, but Blaster had his own guys too after he was introduced.
All I gotta say,
he was a. By the way, Blaster. Just to let you know. His name is derived from a
blaster.
From Ghetto Blaster. Yes.
Jeez Louise.
No, you need to know this, and all of you Transformers fans need to know this, that originally the name that they got for Blaster and making his voice be done by a black actor in the cartoon was probably not good.
They did that too in the Michael Bay movie where Jazz was a black voice actor. I'm like, ooh boy.
Well, Jazz was Scatman Carruthers in the cartoon, which was cool.
But what I'm saying is, like, they clearly made him be like, this is the black character.
Right. The point is that Blaster, like, you gotta
Ghetto
know.
Blaster, yeah.
Yes.
Yikes.
Bad yikes. But anyway, they both had tapes that they were the spies of the Transformer world because they were smaller than everybody else. So they were more human sized. But they had like Ratbat, Frenzy. They had a Panther. They had Blaster actually had like a lion and like a couple other things.
Here's what we should do though, since you have not seen the rest of the Michael Bay movies, and I feel like you're like me. The only way I'll watch those shitty movies is for content. Yeah. So what we should do over the summer is review all of the Transformers.
Oh my god.
No, we don't even. I'm not talking commentary because nobody's going to listen to a 3-hour podcast.
Oh, thank God.
Of that, because those movies.
We do our next commentary though.
Part of those Michael Bay movies is just going to find the time to watch them because they're all like almost 3 hours. It's ridiculous.
And 3 hours of crap.
And it's convoluted. Yeah. It's like, dude, it shouldn't be that hard to make robots that turn into cars that turn into robots fight each other. Should not be that difficult. And by the way, we've crossed the threshold. This is the longest episode of the series of the show.
By the way, when I'm driving home tonight, I'm going to be when I'm driving home after this, I'm going to listen to the metal version of the Transformers theme song. You know, from the movie in the 80s. Yeah.
It is weird that I've kind of
wage the battle to the evil forces of.
It's so weird.
The Decepticons.
It's so weird to me that I become a Transformers fan as an adult instead of a kid. Like I did the reverse of that, but it was just hoping and praying that because
hoping and praying.
My nephew
and loving.
My nephew was into Transformers for a time. I don't know if he still is. He's more into like Minecraft and shit now. But
shit, that bullshit.
My nephew.
Content video games.
My nephew was really into Transformers, so fingers crossed that my son gets into Transformers. Because you know what? It's not so much of getting him the toys. It's the toy. I'm getting the toys for me. Let's be real. Okay. So, future son. Future son. Lincoln, if you're listening to this in the future, you better get into Transformers now.
Lincoln, you just turned 50, and now it's now you're old enough to hear this.
It is kind of weird that a 28-year-old man is like, I like Transformers now, but that's not true. Like, I feel like the comics are definitely more adult-oriented than the show. Because the comics are written by guys that grew up watching the cartoon, so obviously they're going to have more of an adult tone to them. But I don't know. Let's end this shit. I'm going to transform into an outro.
I'm going to transform into...
Bad Mother Crusher.
Yep.
Yeah.